Hello and welcome back to another round of TFR eSports. Here we are for the F2 division, and it is once again the Singapore Grand Prix, round 3 of the season. And well, what a usual co-commentator, the two-time F1 champion here in TFR eSports. We have the F3 driver who's gone up to F2 for this tonight's Singapore GP, and he's absolutely smashed the times right now with a 128.1, almost a second clear of second place.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how off the pace everyone else is at the moment, but still 2.5 minutes to go here, CJ, to try to put in some representative runs for the rest of the field. Yeah, he's absolutely crushing everyone as it stands.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible so far. We know the track is improving because we have had a little bit of rain so far in this session. Apologies again for the delay with the stream. We had a few technical issues in terms of getting it up, but we are well and truly live now, and we are expecting a little bit more time in some of the laps here, Logan, because some drivers have set a time where the track is quite green, and it's probably still quite green right now.
Yeah, it's probably still quite green right now. It could even be still improving slightly, or maybe we're just now seeing the optimal conditions, but a lot of people didn't even set a lap until this point, so they were probably just waiting for the optimal conditions, knowing that those laps would be a waste, as Ellis goes at the P14. Other drivers, Ruthless Guy, Danique, Kevin Cow, you know, those are some big names in this division this season that haven't even set a lap yet. Danique's on a lap right now. He's coming through the final couple corners. Let's see what he can do. Mounts a lot of curb there. He's just got one more corner to navigate. Looks like this could be a pretty good lap time. He's out of ERS, though. That's going to hurt him.
Front row.
It is up to second place for
Look at the
Mercedes
gap.
1-2 as it stands.
Yeah. It's a Mercedes
it was a bad
1-2.
Bad ERS management.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's a Mercedes 1-2 right now, but it could be better control. Look at the traffic on these outlaps. This is the thing, with a full F2 grid, that middle sector there's an Alpine that's just stopped there. I can't quite catch who that is, but that is chaos with some of these outlaps here. Everyone going out at the same part of the circuit. We are on pretty much the final runs here, because most of the drivers, what they'll do now is their final laps. The one last couple of things I'll get in here is we have got a couple of new drivers. Hariberman is back in F2 tonight, obviously third in the championship last season. He's back from the F1 division. We've also got Sluskarn in the Williams making his debut tonight. And then obviously Varga, who's currently on pole, and could quite sensationally take a pole position here, is up from the F3 division, like I said. We've got Tats Collector, who's crashed on circuit then, so he's done in qualifying. He will not improve from 5th place, Logan.
Yeah, he will not. That's a weird place to crash as well. I wonder what happened there. And we're getting into the final runs here, CJ. His time is now expired, so this is it. This is it. Let's go.
And GG hits the line, and it doesn't improve. Had a bad final sector there. Doesn't jump up the order. Veer only goes 10th. I say only because he finished second, incredibly, last week. We've got a Ferrari Penzug coming to the line. He's got a Mercedes right behind him. That might be Varga, actually, who's coming up to the line. No, it's not. That's Danique, actually, on a slow lap. He hits the barrier as well. And the Ferrari Penzug stays down in 15th. And that was Sir Spark going up into 4th. Yeah.
Yep. So Spark into 4th. Kevin Cow goes P6. Next Ferrari is that on a flyer. That's Curbold. He's diving into the pits. Who else have we got coming up? We got 2 cars coming right up to the line. Oldham stands one of them.
They're kind of blocking each other,
down,
really.
Actually, because the man behind him, Haribo Man, overtakes him for P8.
There's a Red Bull as well, overtaking Alfie there.
Oh, we got battling on track. Codematic
Yeah.
and the Haas, who's missing a piece of his front wing, are battling through the final couple corners, and then he invalidates through the final quarter. Codematic down in P11.
Here's Chris, race winner last time out. Where is he going to go? Goes on the front row. But he is still almost 8 tenths off the pace. A Ruthless Guy is 4th. And look at that. That is absolutely sensational from Varga there. A 27.6. He's more than a second and 2 tenths clear of the rest. That is absolutely stunning. He was in F3 last week and only just won that race. And he has absolutely blown the competition away here, Logan.
Yeah, that's an F1 quality time right there. 27.6. My man looking like he's ready to move up. But honestly, everyone else, I think, put in bad laps. Like, usually the gaps between what we're going to see in F1 and F2 are what? Maybe 4/10, half a second? You know, if we're expecting to see a lot of low 28s and high to mid 27s, with the exception of Vargo on pole, everyone else is high 28s. You know, the F2 very off the pace here, it seems, at Singapore.
Yeah. I mean, not to jump the gun here. I mean, is that Vargas cemented himself into F1 immediately there, just with that lap? Or do we need to see how the race goes?
Well, it would be hard for him to move up into a Mercedes with the two Mercedes drivers being quick in F1, but that 27.6 is damn good.
That is
I think
rapid.
that is easily top 10 F1.
And the reason why I'm shocked is because, I mean, in F3, his pole lap in Japan was very good, but it wasn't even top 5 in F2. He's just absolutely destroyed everybody in that qualifying session, and not even just by a little bit, Logan. That is a massive gap.
I was expecting at least low 28s for pole, maybe a 28.0 for pole. That is
stunning.
Yeah, I think it's two things. One, that's a great lap by Varga, and I gotta say, compared to what we're gonna see in F1, a big fall off for the rest of the field. I think it's just both things happening at once, and it just exacerbates it. 1.2 seconds. Like, if he doesn't mess up this race massively, he should be able to just cruise to a victory.
Well, let's find out.
Some setup that just absolutely can't race, which I think you're pretty hard pressed to do unless you just like run minimal tire pressures or some crap like that. You know,
well,
that's crazy.
We're going to find out, and it's if you're wondering, it's not very dark. We are having a day to night race in Singapore for this season, so do not panic. We've not got the time of day wrong. It will get into the night for the closing stages, but let's see then what will happen after quite shocking qualifying there. It's Varga on pole for the F2 Singapore GP. And we are underway. It seemed like not too bad of a start from Chris in second place. He's not quite going to have a run into the first corner. Varga leads us then with Chris having to push Danique off the circuit. He rejoins the track and then touches tyres. So Spark is off at the very back, down into last place, but they're still going at it. Vera around as well.
Podium finisher last week. He's around. More collisions happening behind, but everyone else facing in the right way. Sir Spark and Vera, two big names, and back of the pack early.
We got a massive shunt. Look at the state of that.
Code Maddox out!
And that is a safety car, surely. That has to be a safety car. There's a massive shunt there. And
what a mess of cars that have to sort it out.
Well, I don't see a safety car out yet.
Behind.
Yeah, someone's hit the wall as well. And yeah, I think you're right. And there's the safety car now. Full, I'm not surprised because there was about 3 or 4 cars there that went into the barrier. And Code Manic then, our first retirement. I tell you, Logan, you'll remember many a season ago when we commentated on an F2 Singapore GP, we had something like 3 red flags in that race. So I forgot to mention it in qualifying. We are kind of expecting a bit of a bonkers race here because the ingredients of Singapore and F2 combined does seem to provide always a pretty crazy race.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're seeing it already. Vera, he moved up from F3, podium finisher last time. Sir Spark, you expect to be a top half runner in F2, both involved in incidents early. Code Matic, a race winner, out with a collision on the straight with Alfie, who's another strong driver at the back.
So your top 5 all remained in the same position. Varga with a perfect start, clear of Chris, who was the winner last time out in Japan. And then we've got a couple of cars in the pits. Now they're trying to get their free pit stops out the way towards the back there. Some, I think, are forgetting about that advantage that the pit stop does have here with these shorter races. But who's that? Kevin Kell, Ultimate Stan, who's reserving in the Alpine, Haraberman and Alfie, all in the pits. I'd imagine quite a few of them as well. They're going to get in a front wing change.
Yeah, they're probably getting front wing changes. I'm going to have to take a look here as I had to walk out to my kitchen briefly. Old man forgot to take his meds, folks. But we're coming back to it. Fresh full of ketamine and Black tar heroin, jokes aside, let's see what we got tire-wise. 22 laps, so they're going to have to go 20 laps on hards. Maybe with a couple safety car laps it'll be possible, but they're going to be screaming come the end of the Grand Prix, especially if they don't have setups to take care of the tires. But it might be possible. We've seen in the F1 divisions last couple seasons, people just taking tires incredibly far in races.
Yeah.
Track position, very important in this game, and not making extra pit stops, very important in this game. And something we've seen in TFR is just with the chaos that always happens in the midfields and how hard people fight for position constantly, you just can't reliably move up through the field and have that be a part of a purposeful strategy and expect to have any type of success.
Yeah, totally. And this is the thing here is if it's, and it's a big if, we don't see another safety car or VSC for the rest of this race, those guys who have pitted early, if they can clear some of the traffic, because there'll inevitably be a lot of traffic because there's only about 4 cars that did pit, then they will have a huge advantage here. Because once the others pit later, then they will be having to really get a move on to gain the pit stop that they've lost to those who pitted under the safety car. There are your drivers who have pitted at the back. That are your position changes on the screen that I've had for a few laps there. A lot of position changes in the midfield, but like I was saying, the top 5 is still the same order. There are your tyres on the screen. Varga starting on the hard tyres. That was what I was surprised about with the good launch that he got. That was the risk, Logan, is him starting on hard tyres. He could have got picked off, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, he would be picked off, maybe, but if he could stay right behind Chris with a harder compound tire, then he would just have such an advantage come the end of the race. That, you know, maybe losing 1 position can still be worth it early on, but maybe he was also thinking about going long, keeping his track position, and then just letting the race come to it as we have contact, and he touches the back of Crease under safety car. Barely touched him. I was thinking of previous F1 games where you even scrape someone's car, you get slapped with a penalty, a reprimand, demerits, you know, and possibly jail time even for remotely scraping someone's car under safety car.
Well, that could have been very costly. What we'll see as well here is because of the sim damage, I mentioned this in the F3 commentary, that obviously if you any hits to the wall, particularly around a track like this, because we've seen this at Baku before, you're going to have really high tire wear towards the end, and it could also result in punches if you hit it hard enough. But we noticed that the tire percentage, it goes up about 10% each time you hit the barrier, depending on the tire. We also, a track like this where it's quite narrow, it's the debris that gets flicked up as well, can definitely cause punches. I have had that last season. Many other drivers have had that before if they've been that unlucky. And so that is something to keep an eye out here, particularly at a safety car restart where someone just needs to run wide, hit the barrier. It could provide a bit of chaos for those towards the back. Safety car's coming in this lap, Logan. We've only got Tats Collector that's on a set of soft tyres, but Varga and Curbold and Northey were the only other drivers to go for those hard tyres at the very start. So they'll be the ones going long here. So it's down to Chris here, how good of a restart he can get and maybe have a little look at trying to get past that Mercedes.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got the medium tires versus the hards. Also, the question will be, since he's most likely going to be pitting before him, will he be able to undercut him and actually claim track position? So he'll be on the worst tires at the end, but if he can stay close enough, he might at least have a track position advantage come the end of the race. He's going to be at a tire disadvantage, giving himself a shot at the win. But we're about to get underway. Here's Varga launches, and we are back underway. Green, 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 let's go!
On to lap 4, and speaking of green, it's the ruthless guy in the green Sauber who had a little look to the inside there. There's another green car in the background there of the Aston Martin of Arthur, having a little look at Sluskar into the first corner. That's GG, very wide there, and Tats Collector on those soft tyres, smell an opportunity, can't quite get through, but they're all super close there going through these corners, obviously because of the restart, and it is so nervy to watch, because any mistake here, it will be massively costly. Sauber running really well so far then in 4th and 5th. There's a move in the background. That's Arthur again having a look down the inside of the Williams, but they're all keeping it fairly clean, Logan.
Yeah, and both Alpines make out of position. We got contact in the back. We got one around. Now we got an Alpine losing a lot of positions. Viri was able to get around somebody, but now he's in
Northey.
position. We got another car up. Northey's off. Northey has have to reverse it, and he's hit the wall, which is just shocking to see, as the RBs have been the pinnacle of consistency all season long.
Absolutely. Oh, and look at that there. A ruthless guy, really punchy on the brakes and the hairpin. And with a helicopter camera here, we might just see a move here from Danique if he's feeling brave enough to chuck it down the inside. Doesn't quite into that corner. Oh, and Chris hits the wall. He hits the barrier on the exit. The car's ghosting, and that will allow Danique now the opportunity down the inside. Chris having a terrible restart here, really feeling the pressure, but Danique just didn't quite have the straight line speed and will have to sit behind him. But massive mistake there to make.
Yeah, it's Sir Spark looking to get around Ellis through the final chicane. Not able to do it. Great braking by Ellis to hold that position. And they are nose to tail here in the second half of the grid, the not top 10.
Absolutely. And
Haberman alongside Action Rick going into turn 1.
Oh.
We also got Sir Spark and Ellis side by side in turn 1. Haberman with the 3-second time penalty already, as he's an early contender for the Darky Award if he can pick up another 3-second time penalty. Oh, contact! Beat up! Bang! Sir Spark and someone else into the wall. Ellis is around.
And Danique's got second. He's pushed Chris off the track. Oh, and he's now made contact with a ruthless guy for third place. A ruthless guy, if he's not careful, is going to get shoved in the barrier there. He's got his teammate for company now around the outside. But a ruthless guy thought he saw the opportunity. His teammate is going to have a little look to the inside. Can't quite get it done there. That would be a brave man to chuck it down the inside into that corner. But Chris he was going to get picked up eventually, Logan. But the Mercedes now up into a 1-2.
Yeah, Mercedes 1-2. They're looking darn good here early on, and this plays really good for Vargas as he's still leading and outside of DRS with the harder compound of tire. He's only going to be stronger come the end of the race. Disaster for RB here after the restarts. They're now 18th and 19th. Ellis with a 3-second time penalty as he matches Haberman. Early contenders for Darky Award. Let's look out for that one later in the race, folks. And got a couple of separate trains forming here. We got the lead train, the second train, and you've been involved in an incident, people in the back.
Yeah, that's what surprised me, is that gap from Penzog to Ultimate Stan, about 3 seconds. Where that's actually came from, I think that is just from the shenanigans of behind. But,
Arthur's around on the front stretch.
Oh, that's a weird place to hit the wall, and big damage on the front left end plate. But into the corner almost, Logan. Almost into the first corner.
Yeah, I think there must have been contact on the front stretch. There must have been.
Well,
I didn't see it, though.
A long race ahead. Yeah, we go on indeed, and it is Varga who is clear out front. 2 seconds now over Danique on lap 6 here of 22. And if anyone's watching from the F1 division, that race will be significantly delayed tonight because of the extra long F3 race and then the safety car we've had here. We're probably looking at about 8:30 for F1 for those concerned with that. But Danique then has got over a second to Chris. Chris is really struggling here, Logan. I don't know if this is set up or what.
Oh, Arthur, he's hit the wall. He's hit the other wall. Then he's back and hit the outside wall again, just for good measure.
It's Japan all over again. And we've got another car off at the very back, and Arthur's hit the wall. Veer's also retired on track, and we'll keep an eye on what that could mean.
He's crashed.
Yeah, he has crashed properly. So let's keep an eye on if there's any safety cars that appear. I don't think so. I think we might be in the clear here. But as Veer obviously leaves the session, I think Arthur's going straight on. He's gone straight on into the wall, and he spins the car around and doesn't hit the barrier, actually. I will say. But he is clearly absolutely furious.
Yeah, he will most likely be retiring as we got Sir Spark diving into the pits after only 5 laps on those soft tires. Maybe he says, this is chaos, get me the hell out of here, I'll chill at the back with some fresh tires.
I tell you though, Logan, those soft tires, they don't last long. I do think they don't last long around here at Singapore, and I probably making a smart decision there just to not struggle with that too much. Yeah, battle for 6, that's Kerbal then, right round down the inside, shall I say, on the McLaren, just about gets it slowed down on Tax Collector, who is also the other McLaren on those soft tires, gets forced almost into the barrier, but a sweet move for Kerbal on those hard tires now, up into 6th place. I wonder as well, look at it, as we have the Williams of Sluskan in the background there, dropping a position as well. I wonder if these daytime conditions are making the soft tires even more degradable here, with maybe higher track temperatures.
Maybe just ever so slightly, but people could just be burning them up, and yeah, you don't know what's going on from their perspective, but I'm suspecting people are just burning up the rears.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's been a bit of a feisty start to this race, and that is potentially another move there. Ultimate Stand now forcing Sluskin into a mistake, and he has himself clipped the barrier. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if I don't see a car with a puncher come the end of this race, Logan, because the amount of cars that are hitting the barriers already at this early stage of the race, and well, it's going to happen at some point, surely.
Yeah, maybe those people that might possibly try to take hard tires all the way to the end. As Ellis gets a 3-second time penalty. Tax collector into the pits. The other McLaren getting off those softs. We'll see what he goes to. Suscan with a Suscarn with a 3-second time penalty. We're really racking them up here now, folks. And do we have any moves coming up front? Chris has got a run on Danique. Coming in hot!
Oh, just gets to slow down. Yeah, I mean, that would have been very, very ambitious to try and move there. Arthur bringing out another yellow flag down the order. I'll be stunned if he makes the end of this one. But the race is starting to settle down in certain parts of the circuit. But the race leader is super comfortable up front. But Danique did seem comfortable for a moment, but not anymore. With that Haas now hot on his tail, that is definitely giving him something to think about here, and he can't quite just settle into a rhythm as the sun sets over the Singapore Sea there, you could see. But lap 8 then of 22, we're not even halfway through this race, and already we've got a bit of some gaps starting to form. We've got this four-way scrap for second place. We've then got a bit of a gap, and that's Arthur has indeed retired coming into the pits. Yeah.
Yep, Ultimate Stand getting around Penzug for 7th.
So he's storming up the order now quite nicely, Logan. He's picked off the Williams of the lap before, who just has a massive moment there, coming out of that corner. And now he's picked off Penzug. So on those hard tyres, they're really coming alive in this race.
Yeah, they're coming alive via everyone else's tires just absolutely dying. As Ellis gets a 10-second time penalty, and he firmly leads the Darky Award here as we approach halfway point.
I don't think anyone's going to be catching him at that race. Look at this scrap now for second place, you know. Look at how close all these four are. Danique, I think, might start be struggling a little bit. He is one of these drivers that seems to be a bit better on short-term pace, and then he seems to struggle a little bit more towards the end of the stint. Had a bit of a rough race in Japan, had a very poor start, got involved in a collision before the very first corner, and has had a decent start this time around. But he has got a whole pack of cars closing in on him. Gigi had a bit of a mistake there. We've got a car in the barrier, and that is Ellis. And that is a safety car. And I tell you, some people will be frustrated with that. You can see the car there on the exit in the wall because he had so many penalties, Logan, and he's gone and stuffed it in the barrier when he was down 17th.
Yeah, it's just shocking to see from the RB as they've been the pinnacle of consistency all season long. But we have another safety car, so let's see what people do in terms of pitting or not, as Danique and Chris take turns passing each other for no reason.
Now, I would say,
safety
Logan...
car boys.
Yeah, I would say this is a bit of an awkward time for Varga in terms of the safety car. You'd imagine he will pit, but I think Danique is slowing down here. Yeah, what is going on behind these two? Chris is now ahead of Danique under the safety car.
Is Chris giving the position up on purpose?
I've absolutely no idea. Varga's coming in the pits anyways. They're all coming in. So Danique might lose out quite badly here because of these pit stops. Because there'll be a slight delay.
Oh, it's close to him hitting the wall on entry.
Ultimate Stand stays out. He's going to take the lead of this race. And Varga then fresh set of mediums. And Kevin Cowell.
Stayed out there.
Kevin Cowell, yeah.
I think with those extra safety car laps, maybe now the hards will be able to make it to the end.
But you know what, though? They've all pitted. They have all pitted so far in this race. Ultimate Stand, Kevin Cowell and Alfie are there, and that is their net position. That is, you know, they're not pitting again in this race. They can take those hards to the end. They'll come under serious pressure, but they will not be diving in the pits. That is what I said about the whole safety car thing earlier. And they have benefited massively because they've gained track position. They're on 8-lap old tyres, or older tyres, shall I say. But the more important thing, Logan, they are very much first, second, and third.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this really hurts. The McLarens, they pit early off the softs. Didn't have time to make up their track position or gain them back with pit stops. They will have fresh mediums coming for the rest of the race, but 14th and 15th for the two McLarens is not where they were running earlier in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a great opening round in Australia, but this is a bit of a humbling night so far for the team that said they were going to win the Constructors this season, which obviously they are still very much in the mix of that. It's a very long season ahead, 15 rounds, and we're only on round 3. But that is going to be a mega hit to their points tally. Haas looking very good now. Sauber still looking on for some solid points tonight. But we've already racked up 4 DNFs here, and we are on to our second safety car of the race. Danique then loses the position to a roofless guy as well. GG has also lost a position to Karabol because he's had to double stack behind a roofless guy. What are we thinking for mediums to the end? They should be fine, Logan, I'd imagine?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll just be very worn.
Yeah. Which, on a track like this, is probably not what you want, I would imagine.
Oh! Was that
What's happened there?
Just cut the corner under safety car?
Oh, and we've got a big penalty there.
Whoa!
Under the safety car, Harriman hitting Solskjaer there. And I don't think there's any damage on either car, but a 10-second penalty then for Harriman. And Solskjaer only got the 3-second. But, well, he'll be absolutely furious about that. Dan in 11th place, not being the happiest to return to F2 for him. And, well, he'll surely need to serve that as soon as possible. He'll be praying for another lap on this safety car.
Yeah, but with Ellis out of the race, he does take the lead for the Darky Award.
But to be fair, though, if Ellis is out of the race, surely we still consider the penalties he achieved before he retired.
Well, he can't rack any more up, though, is the thing. So Herberman's just one away from essentially clinching it. And everyone else that had 3-second time penalties has crashed already.
I know.
Other than Solskjaer.
Obviously, if you're new here to TFR Esports, if you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe to the channel and give the stream a like if you like it. But if you're new to TFR Esports, you'll need to know that it's top 15 that score points. If it was top 10, then I think a lot of people would bail out pretty early because they know I've been 17th here all race, what is the point? But it's top 15 here. You can actually gain quite a bit more from just getting into that top 15, and you just don't know. A point or two might be worth it come the end of the season, so it allows us to have a lot less DNFs than what we've had before, Logan.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Well, safety car's coming in this lap, so that comes.
Not quit. You never know what's gonna happen. Never give up. Picture that Asian fisherman out in the freezing cold. Never give up.
Ollie Bean on the chat says the Aston Martins are channeling their inner Stroll so far in this race. As Gagley says, stop the clock because an Alpine's leading the race. Oh, and we've got another tangle.
Second time penalty. Yep. People all clustering up.
So
he's
more.
not going to be able to rejoin here.
He's not because we are back underway. A bit of shenanigans at the back, but Ultimate Stan then gets us back underway for the F2 Singapore GP. And like I say, these guys pitted under the first safety car, and they've gained massively here. They've gained track position, and you can absolutely bet your bottom dollar, Logan, they'll be defending for their lives onto this podium.
Yeah, they will, but Vargas has already got one of them.
Look at that, right around the outside and into that corner. The sheer grip difference on those fresh mediums swoops past the Haas of Alfie, and, his defense didn't last too long, Logan.
No, it did not. I suspect Vargas is going to be able to fly past these guys with softer and fresher tires as Danique gets a 3-second time penalty. And McLaren's trying to make up one spot as Action Rick had made a mistake.
Oh!
Here comes Vargas on Kevin Cow.
Yeah, Varga up into second place. Kerbal there got way too close to Danique, and he actually hit the back of the Mercedes, which really offset him into the next corner. He's got away with it. GG is now right back onto his tail, but we're going to see a real crossover here, Logan, because there's all these guys that are catching the guys that are, with no disrespect to them, they're out of position really on those older hard tyres, and so it's really the bottleneck here that is going to provide so much racing in these closing laps.
Yeah, they really have gone for it here, staying out. It's just hard to tell what is going to be the optimal play come the end of the race. We just got to keep your nose clean as much as you can, as we're going to have a lot of battles for positions here on track come the final half of this race.
Yeah, Absolutely. Varga then already sets the fastest lap of the race, and he is in hot pursuit of ultimate Stan here for the lead of this one. Meanwhile, further behind, there's a move. Yeah, there's a move, and Danique's going to make contact very close between the two. Danique's still on down the inside. They make more contact, and Danique really was desperate trying to make that move there, but it just wasn't quite on, Logan.
It seemed like it was on, they just didn't quite leave each other enough space, just a little bumping and banging, no harm, no foul, it seems like we continue on, but yeah, not able to get the position. Haraberman looking to make up the position of Sluskern down the straight, and also GG and Kerbal side by side, a little bit of contact there. Kerbal's car has ghosted, looks like he's going to lose the position here, they're so close! Oh, they're all so close! Oh! Kerbal phases through all of them! What a move! Warp phasing technology by Ferrari! They finally got something right.
Oh, and the two salvage touch! They're both off the track! Oh my word, they both collided there. They both got damage as well. GG's got damage on the front wing. A Ruthless Guy, I think, has got damage as well. What on earth happened there between those two salvers? I think a Ruthless Guy's going to hit the Williams as well!
Oh! He is. You're right, you saw it coming.
Oh my word, and Danique and Kerbal now have also made contact. It's all kicking off here. Danique's almost getting forced in the wall there by Kerbal. Kerbal with some ghosting tactics. I've seen him play that one before, conveniently, a couple of seasons ago. But up into 6th place now on those medium tires, defending hard against Danique. But the two Saubers there, I mean, my word, if you're Jonathan Wheatley, you'd be absolutely banging your head against the wall, Logan.
I don't know who that is.
That's the Sauber team principal in real life, but it's fine.
Oh yes, Jonathan Wheatley, absolutely devastated. He's absolutely devastated. Get a. Oh, I can't remember his name. The guy from Fox. Get him back, please.
Good to start. I mean, he'd be smashing the door at this rate. That's for sure. As we got Danique now ahead of Alfie, who's made contact.
Do not F smash his car. Alfie gets contact with Danique.
Well,
I don't see any position changes going into turn, whatever number it is.
There's a move from Tax Collector for P10. So this is the thing here. And there's another bit of contact at the rear. I can hear the barrier get smashed once more. We've got Kerbal round. He's round, actually, facing the wrong way. So he is tumbling down the order after a great restart. He's now down into 13th. And all the work he's done, Logan, is completely in the bin.
Oh my god, look how it goes. GG and Alfie! Oh! And now there's a piece of debris in the middle of the track.
Deary me, yeah, that is in a perilous position there. If anyone runs over that is for sure. Alfie then is now passed by Haraberman, who's got massive damage on the front wing of that Aston Martin. As we've got another move up the order. That's Chris now ahead of Kevin Cal. Kevin Cal's podium defence is over, with quite a few laps still remaining. So Ultimate Stan is still on for a podium here if he can hang on. But Haraberman with so much damage on that front wing, Logan, and he's going to have to pit. Surely he's staying out, and we've got another car on the wall.
It's GG. You went side by side with Sir Spark.
And Haraberman's wide.
Oh my god, look at this battle down the front stretch for P6. There's so many cars. Penzo going down the inside of Haraberman, or is he defending? I don't know. Oh, Sir Spark, yeet! Sends it in there. Gigi's retired. Gigi's out. He's retired in the pit lanes. Kerbal gets a 3-second time penalty. I gotta remember to breathe. And Ruthless Guy gets around Haraberman as well. Haraberman's
just lost about 6 positions in 2 corners. I mean, he has to get that wing changed. That car is undrivable at this point of the race. He had a great restart again, but he's just tumbling down now. We've got another move in the background there. I think that's the Ferrari of Kerbal getting picked off by Solskin just for good measure. They both got damage and they both hit the wall.
Oh, and there's another car that's not doing too great. That's Action Rick. He squeaks his way through.
I mean, look at that debris.
She's battling.
There's so much just carbon fiber all across those bits of the track. If that was the front runners, I mean, I would not want to be going through that part of the lap. And there goes Danique. Yeah, easy move in the end. He picks off the Red Bull. So Danique, despite having that penalty, still looks good here for a strong finish. As Penzug, he hits the wall now as well. Couldn't get the car slowed down, and that's another car hitting the barrier.
Yeah, look at this battle for P2. Priest is properly caught. Ultimate Stan now. Oh my god, there's so many cars so close to each other going to the final chicane. Oh, I can't. This is great. What a race.
What a race indeed. We've got two cars wheel to wheel there, going through the final corner, and that's Penzug and a Ruthless Guy there. I think both of those cars have got damage on the front wing, and look at them. They're going out. They're free wide into the first to 8,
Oh no,
ahead of
no.
Alfie, who's also picked up by a Ruthless Guy. I think these guys on old tires now, on these old hard tires, are getting picked off quite badly here. A Ruthless Guy swooped right around the outside, and Chris now moves up into second. He finally gets ahead of Ultimate Stan, Logan.
Yeah, look at the McLarens, now 6th and 7th. What were they, 13th and 14th, or 14th and 15th at the restart? They really have made up those positions. They've stayed out of trouble. Danique now getting around Ultimate Stan as well, as the grip levels are just not there for those 14-lap-old hards compared to those fresh ones. Varga's properly up the road. And it's looking like our podium may be getting pretty set here of Varga, Chris, and Danique, which would just be a great day if you are someone that drives an F1 for Mercedes, as you don't get negative 40 to your engine wear for once.
Absolutely. Ultimate Stan is really, really struggling now on those old hard tires. Kevin Cal on the same kind of tires is actually catching him as he slid through those couple of corners. You're right. McLaren are on for a great, great result here. They could still get a 4th and a 5th finish here because they are catching the two old hard tyre runners at a rapid rate of knots on those fresher medium tyres. So they'll be ones to keep an eye on here. And they are on a charge here for a sensational recovery, you'd have to say.
Yeah, and Alfie's rears are just absolutely cooked. He struggles so hard through the final corner. Yeah, the McLarens are playing this one very well. They're gaining. We're going to have to keep an eye on them come these last few laps. They're within DRS of each other, but I don't think they're trying to battle each other for position. They're very much playing the team game here.
It was worth the gamble for those guys to stay out on the hard tyres, because Ultimate Stan and Kevin Cal, they are still 4th and 5th here. And with Danique's penalty, I mean, Ultimate Stan could still, if he can find some pace from nowhere, could still be in the mix for the podium. I don't think he will be, because I think they will start to march off into the distance out front. But I think it is still worth the gamble. They had nothing to lose by pitting when they did.
Right, and track position is king in a TFR, especially in F2 with the amount of chaos we've seen. Best way to be out of the chaos, be in front of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Varga then still leading out front. That gap is actually just came under now, 3.5 seconds to Chris. But we are thinking the Hungarian Mercedes driver is comfortable out front at the moment. Chris has got a healthy gap to Danique with a penalty anyway, so he's safe. So it's all about this battle then for 4th and 5th. Ultimate Stan, Kevin Cal, different teams, but they are really having to they might have to work together a little bit just to try and keep hold of the positions that they've got right now.
In a way, yeah, but I doubt they're going to do that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He does have a 3-second time penalty, so if Ultimate Stan can stay with him, then he gets another 3-second time penalty. That could be him losing the podium.
Yeah, and he's done this before, Logan. That's what I was saying earlier. He really does have that kind of silly mistake in him where he can drop quite a few positions from those penalties. He's a quick driver, but he's making life difficult for himself right here. And as you can see on the screen there at the minute, Danique would tumble down into about 6th place with those penalties. So work to be done for him. And who knows, the podium might still be on the cards for Ultimate Stan Kevin Cal here. But the McLarens are rapidly hunting them down, and you can see Tax Collector now has the DRS on Kevin Cal. This is a little bit like the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix, if you can remember. A fresh set of mediums on those two Mercedes in real life, hunting down the race leaders. This isn't for the lead here, but it's for potentially a podium.
Yes, it is. They're going to have to get a move on and get the job done quickly, because too much battling, they're just going to lose time to the next car. So they've really just got to pick their spots here. But McLaren has played this very well after the restart. They gained tons of positions and looking for a few more here come the end of this race, as we will have 4 laps to go, including this one they're about to start right now. You
got Spark really putting the pressure on his teammate, and if you're in his position, you kind of really need your teammate to get a move on here because he clearly has great pace. Very close again as the two Williams swap way down the order. That's Sluskin now up into 11th. But let's see what these two McLarens do here. Are they going to play it smart, Logan, and work together quite nicely here and move up the order? It should get the move done, and Kevin Cowell with a DRS breezes past the Red Bull, and that was super easy for Tax Collector.
Yes, it was, and Kevin Cowell's also overused his battery.
Oh, and they touched!
Well.
Oh! Gee, no way. No way. I can't believe that. I mean, so Spark has passed Kevin Cowell as well. Harabaman's retired, coming into the pit lane. A point just chucked in the bin for Aston Martin, and a terrible bit of reliability for them as well. But so Spark then up into 5th, but you can absolutely be sure Kevin Cowell's sure going to get a penalty for that, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just going to make life worse for him come the checker flag. Here comes Ruthless Guy as well, looking for an overtake. Tax Collector could still get some spots back, though. Him and Kevin Cowell battling again is going to be absolutely spicy.
Absolutely. A Ruthless Guy, look how much more grip he's got. Swoops straight round the outside of Kevin Cowell on those old, hard tyres. And Tax Collector is going to be right on him for the very next lap, Logan.
Yes, he is. I think he's going to do it right now. Kevin Cowell isn't battling it. Very respectful play.
Yeah, I think let's go. He lets him go, and that is the move done. So quite a few gaps for me. Oh, we've got a car off, though, at the very, very, very back. That's Northey hitting the barrier, and a little bit more damage. Not on the circuit, though. Carabold now up into 13th. A bad day at the office for him, though. Points really thrown away for Ferrari, but points seemingly really looking good for Mercedes, because Danique's gap to Ultimate Stan is going to go above 6 seconds. Ultimate Stan is really, really struggling. You can just see him wobbling on the entry of the corner there. That's how old those hard tyres are now, and he's going to have to think about the likes of Sir Spark and a Ruthless Guy closing in behind in these remaining 2.5 laps. But Danique is looking good now for the podium, Logan.
He is, but Ruthless Guy is even looking good to possibly get Sir Spark. He has great pace here, so it ain't over yet for these positions. We could still see Ruthless Guy maybe try to creep up. He's got better grip at this point as the mediums start to fall off.
Yeah, absolutely.
ERS.
Well,
and more ERS.
Has a little look. Not quite close enough just yet. And, well, let's just see. The question is here, a Ruthless Guy, he could still... Oh, we got another yellow flag, and I think that's just the lapped car of Northey getting out the way. And there goes a Ruthless Guy right around the outside, and he's going to make a brilliant move there. Brilliant move from a Ruthless Guy, just perfectly positioned the car there in a tricky corner to make that move right around the outside, but he'd done that to absolute perfection, Logan.
Yes, he has, but Sir Spark could get him right back as now he's got the DRS and the grip of those medium tires. Oh. Here he comes. Oh, man, this is going to end bad. Ruthless Guy turns in early. They touch, and now here comes Tax Collector behind.
Yeah, he's back. He is back, and right back in the mix, yeah. So, but these guys are still catching Ultimate Stan. They're still gaining time despite battling. They are all catching Ultimate Stan. But so Spark back ahead of a Ruthless Guy after struggling on the lap before. He is right back in the mix here. But Tax Collector, well, they are going to run out of time surely though, because we are about to start the final lap. So Spark might get DRS though on Ultimate Stan. I mean, this could be an explosive final lap here, Logan.
It is going to be an explosive final lap. Kevin Cowell and DRS, a Tax Collector, and DRS, a Ruthless Guy, and DRS, a Sir Spark, who's just outside of, who's going to be within the DRS of Ultimate Stan. Here we go, one more lap, as Varga's going to absolutely walk away with this one. Shout out to him and what he's done in this race, and that qualifying lap was a certified banger. Here we go, final lap with these guys. This DRS train's going to have to solve itself here in the next X amount of distance. I don't know how big the Shrek is.
Who wants that 4th place out of these 4? And then Kevin Cowell is right at the back of this. Don't forget, he is still in the mix. If something kicks off here, But Sir Spark will have DRS on this next straight. He's going to be close to Ultimate Stan. How brave is he going to be? How much will he dare risk it down this straight? He's got the DRS then on Ultimate Stan. He's gaining and gaining on the Alpine. Can Ultimate Stan hang on here? Sir Spark's going to go right to the outside. He's going to swing it right around the outside and then make contact. Sir Spark is forced off the road but recovers and is still ahead of a Ruthless Guy.
Ruthless Guy who touches the butt of Sir Spark. Tax collector's right there for when the incident happens. I'm saying when it's going to happen.
Oh my word. What a finale this is going to be. Ultimate Stan on these ancient hard tyres is still hanging on as he just survives here. And he's got a couple of straights to go. But Sir Spark is right there. Ruthless Guy is right there. And so too is Tax Collector. All ready to pick up the pieces. I'm going to have to go to the leader at some point. But Ultimate Stan just scampers out the exit of the corner there. And I am going to go to the leader because it is Varga who rounds the final corner and wins on his debut in F2, and he spins across the line for good measure. But Varga wins for Mercedes. What a dominant drive that is. Ultimate Stan. Oh, there goes the spot right around down the inside. Can he get it slowed down? He's off the track. They make contact.
Ruthless Guy hits him. Ruthless Guy punts him, sends him into the shadow realm. Tax Collector gets the spot. Final corner. Or penalty is going to come into play. Oh my goodness. 21 lap old tires. He holds on for 7th.
I think there could be a bit of steward reporting there because Sir Spark, he didn't really make the corner, but then Ultimate Stan, who drove brilliantly, we have to say, he drove brilliantly there to try and hang on to that 4th place.
Ooh, Alfie spins.
And Alfie does spin, gets it just across the line in the end. But
let's go for the 10-second time penalty.
So Action Rick's going to finish ahead of him in the end for 11th, with Carabole jumping ahead of the Williams as well.
Carabole got him as well.
That was, I feel sorry for Ultimate Stan. I mean, he didn't deserve a finish of the race like that. And, that might go to the stewards. But something that's definitely not going to the stewards, Logan, is that man there, Varga, dominating the race here in F2. I mean, get the contract on the table and ready to sign for an F1 seat, you'd have to say.
Yeah, you'd have to say if he can keep that up. I mean, we're going to have to see what kind of lap times are set in qualifying in F1, but that was impressive from start to finish. It was never in doubt. It was a boring day for P1. The rest of that race was a certified banger. As always here in F2, we have nothing but absolute bangers. Tune in next week, folks. Great day for Mercedes. We're not negative 40, thank you.
What a day for Mercedes. After a disappointing round in Japan, they are back and by some margin absolutely dominating that race then in Singapore. I hope I'm going to get results on the screen. I don't think I will because I think there was a bit of a glitch on the screen there. So unfortunately we're not going to have the results. But Scone says on the chat, Varga the ultimate sandbagger. What do you make of that, Logan?
I think everyone was just bad at this track. I mean, high 28s for P2. That's not great. That's not what we were expecting in terms of the gaps between F1 and F2 with the previous rounds in last season to go off of. Like, there was a much bigger drop-off in this race. I don't know if it wasn't people nailing their laps, bad ERS usage, or just bad setups. But yeah, they were very much off the pace from what we're going to see here in F1. Compared, not be fair to the two drivers, right? But we usually do see them, what, within half a second at least of F1?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
we're looking at probably a second and a half off if we exclude Varga from what we're going to see here in X amount of minutes time.
It's not often though we see that big of a gap in qualifying. In the race, it was closer, you'd have to say, but in kind of qualifying, that blew everyone away. I don't think anyone quite could believe the gaps because we didn't see that in Japan the week before. Because Australia, yeah. So let's see. I mean, I think it probably will happen, but it's an interesting debate. I mean, like you were saying, Logan, earlier, where does he go? That's the question, because there's no seat at Mercedes. It's kind of other teams, really, that you've got to look at in terms of where do you squeeze him in, because even the F1 division itself is pretty stacked full at the moment, but it's going to be interesting.
Well, you could definitely get a reserve seat. You could definitely hop in a reserve.
Yeah.
You'd have to see, and if he does that like 2 weeks in a row, I mean, bop, bop, bop.
Or could you imagine if he went from F3 in Japan, winning that race, F2, winning in Singapore? Imagine if he somehow won in Kota for F1 next week. I mean, that we have to steady ourselves, and I don't think he would do that. I think there is still a big gap in pure pace from F1 to F2. Because even the qualifying times, things like that, there is still a bit of a gap. But we'll find out tonight in Singapore, to be honest.
That qualifying time was a banger.
I mean, do you think that'll be not far off pole for F1?
What was it, a 27.5 or 27.6?
Around that mark, yeah.
That's... If someone gets to a 27.1 even, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yes.
Like, if that's not even within half a second, I'm gonna be shocked. If that wouldn't be top 7 or 8 in F1, I'm gonna be surprised and really sad, because that ain't boding well for me, folks. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I totally understand. I mean, yeah, I guess as well, it's just seeing right because Chris is very heavily, or Chris is very heavily rumored to move up to F1 as well, because he's already said he's ready to move up to the F1 division, the Haas driver, so he's ready. But it's where do they go? That I think that's the big conundrum with this, because who goes down and who goes up? Because no one's leaving in F1 right now.
I mean, no one's leaving, but if you're getting outperformed by your teammate in a lower division, substantially.
Yeah. Then
like,
I mean,
like if he's putting in, like, let's say he puts in like a 28-0, right? Theoretically, I'm just making something up. And then his F1 counterparts are like, maybe one of them's putting in like a 27.9, but the other one's putting in like a 28.5, and it's consistent like that week in and out. Then you could justify a swap between inter-team drivers if, like, within one team, that's not the top 2 drivers in one division, the next 2 in the next, and so forth. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see. We need more than one sample size. I guess it's not really a sample size if it's only one, but you get what I'm saying. And it is an interesting talking point, and it's a great time for TFR. Usually leagues get less dense as a game's lifespan goes on, but the opposite's happening here.
Absolutely. And next up, we have indeed got the F1 division. So we're going to make a move down. But if you have enjoyed this final bit of chat at the end of the stream, just let us know, because it might make it a permanent fixture for the F2 streams. But we're going to dash off then. I think it's good. We could even chuck in some interviews if drivers want to participate. But there's so many comments on the stream. I'm just not going to be able to get through them all. So I do apologize to anyone if they have asked anything that hasn't been mentioned. Right, here we go. We're going to head off for F1. Not too sure if there's going to be a stream for that tonight, so I do apologise if there is no live stream, but you'll be sure that there'll be a POV uploaded later on. We'll see you in the next one. There we go.
As I said,